Hello. Good evening. How are you guys doing? Do you guys kind of remember last fall? I was really suddenly crazy busy in September and didn't expect it because softball was underway. Well, guess what's starting up again? With these winter practices. Yeah, so that's why I've been going so much later. And hopefully she'll have her driver's license by the end of the month. But anyway, I'm so glad to be here with all of you. I know I said weekend off, but there were a couple of things that came up. I got some really big hits on. And I don't know about you guys, but are you feeling the surge? There's kind of this surge. I think it has to do with the divine feminine, and she is, that divine masculine. It's like they're really close together. It's like they are joining with this Pluto return, with the first run, because it happens 3 times this year. Something has definitely broken free. It makes I feel very light-hearted, like being pulled towards something instead of like slogging through something. It's really refreshing. So let me say hello to you guys. How are you doing? Hi, Ellen. I'm Beth and Connie and Denise and Sophie and Michelle, my Belle and Jasmine. I'm one. JK, Bonnie, Marie, Jane, Finley, Kathy. Oops, this one skipped ahead of me. Hi, Dana and AJ, Rita, Cartomancy, Sempris, Jasmine, M.O., Sky Rider. Hi, Nancy. You're here. I hope you're done with your snow out there in New Mexico. I know that was kind of scary last week. And for everybody in Texas, I hope you guys have heat and that you're warm. Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot, formerly known as Sharon Lee. How are you? It took me a long time to figure that out. Hi, Ashley. Well, it's okay if you can't stay. You can catch the replay. We're going to do the new moon contracts towards the end. So even though we're done with them, you get the benefit of the energy that we put forth. And so you'll be able to just jump right in there. Hi, Mary Hall. You guys. And Hippie Sue. And yes, get rid of these trolls. Moderators, you guys have been fantastic. I don't know why I am attracting so many using the Cyrillic alphabet. I don't know if it's my Twitter. It's weird. It's really weird, but oh well. Oh, hi, Rochelle. She's here. Hi, Marjorie. You're here too. And Marta and Electra, Sharon, Aspie, Sempres, Jan. You guys, can you feel it? Yes. Okay, Nancy's still cold and glad to be here. Yes, I know that you seemed a little bit afraid there for a while. Okay. So I am loving these energies. So the moon was void, of course, today, but it was still very energized because it was still in Aries, ruled by Mars. Action, getting stuff done. And again, Aries works so beautiful with Aquarius. Well, the moon went into Taurus late afternoon, just before 5 p.m. Central today. And that is really when I was feeling this surge of the feminine and Venusian type of things. And then it's like I could feel, I'm like, is that Hathor? Hathor's energy, related to the divine feminine. There's a live that I did last week about the divine feminine, picking up from there. Hathor. And I was inspired to wear my mom's ring today because, Aquarius is blue. I felt like Hathor was like, put it on. But there were some new moon contracts, wishes that we're still working on collectively because that's where all of our power is together as we're venturing into a new era, basically, for our nation as we're on the cusp of our Pluto return this week. our natal Pluto is at 27 degrees Capricorn, 33 minutes and 8 seconds. And on February 20th, that is when Pluto returns. Pluto is already in the 27th degree, and this matters because Pluto takes so long to orbit the sun. For it to come back, it takes 246, 248 years about. And my hypothesis has been that nations don't do very well when they hit their Pluto return because Pluto, hello, life, death, destruction, god of the underworld. A lot of stuff happens. And I especially feel this Pluto like ravaging the GOP, the far right. Not only here, but on a global level. And our friends in Canada and Ottawa, what a nightmare going up there with this trucker protest, whatever. It is so not Canadian because these people are just rude. Canadians, when they know they're going to be rude, at least they're apologetic about it or they acknowledge it on some level, it seems. And maybe that's my stereotype. So we're going to do some writing here because this moon has so much support from Mars and Venus in Capricorn, another earthy sign. And this time around, Venus went direct, what was it, last week? She's been really sleepy. She went retrograde in December. And that's kind of like why this winter just felt so harsh and empty and sad. There was no love in there. I mean, there was, but she's tired. And whenever Venus is retrograde, that is when the GOP is their absolute worst. Nastiest when it comes to legislation and ideas. And what do we get? Book burning, book banning. Yeah, they're so ridiculous. And going after schools and mask this, whatever. That's how they are under these conditions when we have Venus retrograde. They're so heinous. And so this time around, though, the moon is in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and she's awake. She went direct last week. I believe she is still at 11 degrees Capricorn, where she's been rolling around for a couple weeks here. She is, let me see. She's at 12 degrees, and Mars is at 9 degrees. Oh boy, look at these. We have Mars at 9 degrees Capricorn leading Venus. And their CERES right now, right next to them, 14 has their back. This is how we nourish ourselves. It's the harvest, how we feed ourselves. I'm getting really clearly that part of the reason why I needed to go live tonight and write some wishes before this quarter moon, that's going to, oh boy, tomorrow is going to be nuts. So something big is about to burst open. So I wanted to get to this part before because I'll do the quarter moon tomorrow evening, because it's like falling in love energy. And I love that CERES is here because this is how we are going to be sustaining ourselves. Someone sent me the link about, there's a movie that's being released 2022 about the changing of the gods. And there was a woman, she told this incredible story about the divine feminine from, I believe, the African American perspective and, their myths and deities and their legends. And when the divine feminine, I forgot her name, was kind of scoffed at by all the masculine, she left. She's like, I'm not going to have any part of this. I'm as important as you. And what happened was their legs dried up. Things were caught on fire. The earth was not doing well. And what I'm getting is that under the former guy, the divine feminine, the feminine in general, women were terrified, just kind of closed up and was in fear. And that notion is kind of spread, especially with the nationalism around the globe, with all the climate crap, especially we've been dealing with all the fires and water and all these problems. But she knows she's been invited back, and it's kind of like she's taken the stage this week, especially in the United States, because we have this first pass of our Pluto return, and it is just so beautiful. She's Venus has so much support. And Mars, it's like the divine masculine gets to be who he wants to be as well. It's like the jerky stuff is getting tossed aside. It truly feels like dreams and falling in love and that kind of thing. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Joni. Sending love and light to all. So that's the notion that I'm getting. I do want to tell you, oh my God, these teroscopes and the two big things I realized. You'll enjoy that, but let me check in with you guys. How are you guys doing? Lots of love. Oh, there's an attorney for the lawsuit on Twitter. I don't know what that's about. I want to look at the news. I can't. Yes, the Canadians are being exploited by MAGA. But MAGA, remember, was it last year, the year before, Canada declared, I don't know if it was PBoys, I think they declared PBoys as a terrorist group. Or those, who knows how many more were declared that. So if there's MAGA PBoys up in Canada, I feel like Canada is all over this, and they're not gonna tolerate this. It's really scary, the stuff that's going on and the footage and some of the citizen sleuthers that are out there. Arson? Are you kidding me? Anyway. But I feel like there's a plan to address them. And they're just going to be so sorry that they did this. And I feel like this is an extension. Putin is pissed at NATO, pissed at our allies, trying to divide and conquer anyone. And the way that this came about, I feel like this has their fingerprints all over it, but it's like he's going to provoke something else somewhere else because he's pissed. But anyway, what else you guys got going on here? Let me check in with you guys. Anything else? Okay. Hi, Ocean. Hi, Rob D. Anything else? Anything else? Yes, they are pure hate. They are, the perks and the money that's been raised. Yep. Hi, Kim C. And good news, it sounds like Holly Coleman's sister is doing well. She came home. Okay. So there. So we are up to date. I need some water. Okay. Isn't this pretty? I felt like my board was like, I want to wear the pretty outfit again. I need to get some more remnant fabrics. I absolutely love this. I think I could probably even go to Goodwill and maybe get some pretty dresses, and just cut that fabric out. It's for some really pretty thing. Okay, let me see this light. I don't want these shadows though. Okay, well anyway, this is what we're going to do. So, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but on Friday night, there were a bunch of filings that came out about Facebook. And of course, they are in trouble. Of course, they were told they had to release certain documents. I guess there's a journal that Zuck has. Of course, he hasn't released a thing. And there was just a lot of activity, and it did not favor Facebook at all. So this was on Friday night, and it was about Facebook Meta. So I threw teroscopes on them and Cambridge Analytica and Rebecca Mercer. And then I was like, what's going on? Where's China with the Facebook Meta, Cambridge, Rebecca? Oh, I need to watch. I can just feel it right now. I'm going to start buffering because I'm saying some words they don't like. And then the Russia. And then I was like, what about Israel? Because there's that whole faction that has gone far right. They're in a lot of trouble because of their spyware. And Blinken told them they had to reevaluate their relationship with them because they're finding out a lot of these things were used against us and in our election. And, this is not for the entire nation of Israel. It's that faction that, you know what I mean, associated with the 6-1's mom. And then I was like, wait a minute. And where is North Korea? with Facebook Meta Cambridge, okay? And then I wanted to know, what does the FBI CIA know about? Because again, this showed up like a year ago, Rebecca Mercer having a tight relationship with the North Korea and data. It showed up again. So I wanted to know, what did our intel have on that? But the filings had to do with Zuckerberg's notebooks, the addition of Zuck and his sister as document custodians, I don't know what that is, to ID the companies that Facebook agreed to exchange information with. That was a knock against them. And then apparently there were 2 firms that did audits on Facebook Foundation and the findings that they had. And Facebook does not want that released. So I did a teroscope of, well, what was in there, you know? So basically, to sum up, we have Facebook, Meta, Cambridge Analytica. Here's Rebecca. And boy, is she just too cozy with the wrong people. Here, the chart, the new moon, the rising sign, the astrology cards, that this links to the 4th house, what you're defending. So she, in the chart, down here, has the Lover's card. Like everything she does related to all this are the lovers. Lovers, for me, has to do with agreements that you have nation to nation on a higher level. That is all she's about. The lovers, our agreements, our exchanges, and protecting that no matter what. North Korea had that as well with her. She also is related to one of the companies that Facebook agreed to exchange information with. And this part of fortune, Wheel of Fortune, for me is China. Well, because China said that's who I am. She had that here in networks, as did North Korea, like exchanging of data related to that. And this is the interchange on what the FBI and all have between Rebecca and North Korea. There is, it's like all the cards parallel each other, or they're off by 1 column or so. It is not good. This was mind-blowing to me. And then Israel's very active with Russia. I was not surprised about that at all, with the 5 of Pentacles. You know, that's kind of like data laundering. This was like when Julian Assange was in the embassy. He had the 5 of Pentacles because he was like stuck in there, couldn't come out, but he was just dealing with data and recycling that. So there's this relationship, Israel-Russia, with data. And how they're working together. Russia crowning them, related to, you know, Facebook, Meta, Cambridge, all that, had the King of Pentacles crowning itself. And right away I got data empire, to think of it in that way. That's how he's the King of Pentacles. And he shared that with Mark Zuckerberg's notebooks, the King of Pentacles at the very top. And then crowning Cambridge Analytica, 10 of Wands in this whole mess. 10 of Wands, fast data transfer. This is how they use data quickly to exchange with the data empire. So that was just on Friday night. How are you guys doing? Does this make sense? Let me check in with you guys. Yeah, Marie, Zuck is really, 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 really in trouble. The day they went public and they had their first trade was on May something. It was during the transit of Venus. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was in May 2012. And this is when I was more in the beginnings of astrology. But I was like, man, I'm like, that's going to bite Zuck. This is going to fall apart on him. And I couldn't understand, because this was in Gemini, communications, women and children. I'm like, how is this why is this so evil against women and children? Well, look what he did with the far right and social media and women. But that stood out to me. And on that day, the sun was 28 degrees Taurus. I don't know what day that is. Like 22nd, 23rd, whatever, May. No. This is like the 18th or 19th of May. Anyway, at this new moon Aquarius, the North Node, 28 degrees Taurus. And the Facebook chart for their first trade overlaps so much with Donald. They're sucked in. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And hello, they lost 25% of their value, $250 billion last year. Hello, Venus retrograde, Venus now coming to life. They are in trouble. They are super duper in trouble. So that was that. Expect more fallout with that. Now, the second thing, what was the second thing I was looking at? I was like, I gotta tell them this. This is it. I was like, I need to do a teroscope over Mar-a-Lago before this quarter moon to figure out what the heck is going on. Because this chart, okay, this is the Earth over Mar-a-Lago. This new moon was at night, 12:46 a.m. So the sun and moon are down here beneath the horizon. We can't see it because it's on the other side of the world. But in the east, at this new moon, we have Scorpio on the ascendant. This is what gives life to the chart. I'm going to do scorpionic things. I'm ruled by Mars and Pluto. Eek. Coming into the Pluto return. At the top of the chart is 15 degrees Leo, the sun, a leader, a person. But this 15-degree mark in Leo is a very toxic, harmful degree in the zodiac. I think it's because, the Leo energies hit its peak and then it comes down because it's going to go to another sign. It's just like we have the rise and fall with a moon. We have the rise and fall within a sign. This is exactly in the middle of the sign, in the middle third. And a lot of times you can see heart problems and sudden things happen. It's really hard on the heart. This is like the middle of summer, that day that is technically the middle of summer. Well, at the very bottom of this chart, what is anchoring Mar-a-Lago into the ground? They're standing on, which, by the way, they're standing on like an earthquake from the past lunation. Saturn is exactly conjunct the bottom. I'm like, what the heck is going on where you have Saturn at the bottom of the chart? Because Saturn is about limitations, obstacles. It's, brings growth and structure, but not, by the way, Don Julio's been behaving. He hasn't been doing the Saturn thing correctly because it's about authority and getting stuff right and having, good values. So this is what's anchoring it. And not only that, the sun and moon were an exact square to the descendant, which is like your partner or your open adversary, squaring a solar eclipse point and Uranus. So the moon right now has moved into Taurus. This thing, before we hit our quarter moon, is going to come up over the horizon and it's be like, bam, something's going to happen, you guys. So I was like, I have to get this teroscope going to see what is this Saturn about. And basically what happened, I discovered, is that now we've all kind of suspected there's something not right going on there, Mar-a-Lago, and there's some corrupt, it's on the ocean. People can come in and out. Well, what's the big thing that has to do with our borders, our coasts, our ports, point of interest, people coming in. But it has to do with the underwater cables. Now, we've been talking about Rachel Maddow's been talking about the underwater cables lately because of the Irish. Thank God for the Irish fishermen, because they stood up to Putin, get out of my waters. And Finland has also, or the Netherlands, they have experienced having their cables cut, underwater and cutting them off to the World Wide Web. If you saw the underwater cable network, right at the bottom there of Florida, there are just it's like a high traffic area because so many things are coming in there because, the Caribbean, you've got, South America, you've got stuff. It's a highway. So you have that. And what I was finding out is that, he's got the infrastructure set up for underwater cables that are connecting, to not our allies, but kind of like a parallel system, just like he did a back channel government. It is like a parallel network to tap into, get into the U.S. Internet highway system, our digital system. We knew they would hack the electrical grids. We know that they're in. But to get into what's going on in Maryland, the hub where Amazon is, where over 95% of the world's internet traffic flows through, and that's another reason why Jeff Bezos is in trouble. He's in big, 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 big trouble. It's not only this, but he works with those guys. Just wait. But that is Don Julio setting it up, and it's not only with the Russia, but the China. And hello, Devin Nunes got that job working for his future telecommunications company. I'm telling you, everything is about data and telecoms and getting data and stealing stuff and having access. Was it not even a year ago? Was it last summer? Off the coast of California, oops, this boat accidentally cut the undersea cable. No, it's not. Everyone's accidentally getting their undersea cables cut. We've seen way too many submarines and ships from the Russia or the China getting too close to shore. It isn't just to intimidate it. They are surveying the cables and what they're doing, which brings me back to, it was a couple of years, maybe 2018, 2019. Russia decided to disconnect itself from the internet, and then it was going to plug itself back in. This is all related, and there is a hub of underwater stuff going on where our adversaries are able to access up and through that state. I can't say because I was buffering what did I say? That state Flores. And then I said networks. And I got buffered out of my live. It's why so sensitive? And so when I looked at that, I wanted to know about Devin. Don Julio, what does he think about Putin, Russia, and the China, and how it all operates? I wanted to know what the United States government knows. They know. They freaking know. And what does this have to do with DeSantis being horrible and policy? And same with Abbott. What does that have to do with it? They're all in and on it. The thing that blew me away, and I'll get the cards. You guys know that this deck, I like to include, it's a centennial deck, so there's some artwork that she added into the deck. And I just keep them because it's really good for figuring out what these guys are doing because it puts things in action. This is the Much Ado About Nothing card. You have two people talking. Maybe someone has a little bit more authority than that person or telling someone what to do. Much ado to do about nothing. Then I draw a card for her and her. But this is not like government sanctioned or government related or coming from the voice of someone in government. When you get the much like this is less than that. Like the J6ers, their comms were like this, like Flynn talking to his people. They never come up with the card that has to do with government. And that card, we call it Carol. Where is she? Now, and I want to show you this because this is mind-boggling. So you guys know when I do, oh, and here's this one, once. See, it's like once someone came, like other nations or people are wanting to come to the United States and cause problems, or being offered to hack something, or being offered a lot of money from another nation to do something to an institution, like our SCOTUS. There's my yes and no card. I think that's all the cards that the extra cards that I use. So when I did the Teroscope, you guys know I have a set of astrology cards that I like to lay on the outside so we can see how these areas communicate with each other. And then I lay out tarot cards for the more personable story. Well, when I, grabbed cards for the ascendant, what's giving life to this chart? I kept grabbing more and more cards because I have my own rules. Like this, I have to add extra cards for the people. Or if I have an ace, I need to draw an extra card for that. Or if I have a page, what are they up to? I draw extra cards. So this one, I ended up drawing, usually I just do 2 cards on the ascendant. This one had, no, I've gone to 4 recently, but this one had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. But what was so insane was I drew this card. So we've got 2 people talking to each other. Then I drew another card and another card representing them. But the card for this person that came up was Carol. So down in the Mar-a-Lago, he's talking with someone who actually has instructions from another government, not the United States. And those instructions are this and that. Okay? That's what gives life to this chart. And the astrology card said, not only does this give us life, it said, go to the 4th house of our roots, which is down here. There's Saturn, cables, but it said something's missing here. So when I'm doing these Teroscopes, I added in DeSantis and Abbott. Abbott blew me away because it is very rare for me to draw these like this. But down here in the 4th house, what's missing? Abbott had this too. Exactly. Much was here. Dunk, dunk. The card for who's telling him what to do is another government in the same position as blown away. In fact, this government had the Tower card. Like, Abbott's in trouble. You better do something. So that's that. So if Abbott, DeSantis are involved and they're like nuts, like, I wonder what's going on with Georgia. Because they have some ports. They've got a coast. What's going on over there too? So that was the other thing I wanted you guys to keep your eyes on. Let me check in with you guys. How are you doing? Maria, is Biden going to be able to neutralize their operation or destroy it? I think so. I think our agencies have known behind the scenes. And again, if this is bubbling to the surface for me, it's out there. It's going to come out more and more. I just was like shocked how these 2 big things just really bubbled up to the surface for me and just feel like they really have some traction right now. So, who paid for this? No, I think who paid for it? I think dark money. I think other nations, because Donald's going to pay for it. He's giving you access. No, there were oligarchs that other people paid for it. He did not. Empress, can we women all just rise up and get these creepy douches out of power? Yes, and that's what we are writing about tonight. Yes. Yes. Okay, you guys are so good. So good with these. What is wrong with them? Just, well, losers. We know. Okay, so ahead of the curve. That's why we're doing what we're doing. We do these things to focus at the right time so we can get a leg up and ahead of the curve before all heck braces loose. Because when you start doing this kind of work, even if it's like with new moons or a new spiritual practice and you're really committed to it and you keep doing it, it's like so much stuff breaks apart. You always feel like you're trying to play catch up, but you are making progress. As you become more and more aligned, it's like you can just feel what's coming down the pike and you get ahead of the curve. So when all the crap happens, you're out of the way and you've already started building the thing that you need, or we're already there. So it takes a while for these things to manifest sometimes, other times not. Sometimes, it might take decades. It took me decades to manifest my house, okay? But that's just the way things are, okay? It just doesn't happen all at once. So I got some really explicit hits on what we need to focus on with the divine feminine, Hathor. We love you. We know you love us. We know you want to help us. We would like to be in a place where we could receive your help and create the most harmonious working space to do what we need to get done with your wishes and our wishes of what we want this world to become. So that is what we are going to do now. And so now I'm going to get my writing space together. Thank you, Hathor. If you guys have paper and pencil, please grab them. We're going to get writing. Again, like I've said, for simplicity's sake, when you write new moon contracts or wishes, personally, I use the phrase I want because I'm a Scorpio. We just, desiring things give us life. Other signs, they do not work well with the words I want. So please write them as you are inspired to do so. You cannot get this wrong. In fact, last time, I don't know if you can see some of these words over here. This is what we're going to write at our quarter moon, because after we finished last time, I was like, okay, like I can feel more clearly what is needing to be addressed. And that is why I had to come live tonight, because I want to get this a little bit cleaned up before we hit this quarter moon, okay? Okay. So, in fact, the hits that I got on what we have to write tonight, I had to write in my notes while, my daughter was driving, because I was like, I don't want to forget these things. Okay, so where are they? So, like I was saying earlier, what happened to our nation with the 2016 election, it was a coup, because it was against our enemies attacking us. Traumatizing. But in order for Divine Feminine to do the work that we need to do ahead of time, we need to clean up that trauma and that pain so she has a space to rise within us, okay? First of all, I am getting over and over again is grounding. Grounding. And it's to a point like I can almost, like I used to feel myself ground into the earth, bring all your energies fully attached to the core of the earth. But all of a sudden, like yesterday, or was it today, I'm just sitting there, and it was like a giant highway. I don't want to say it was of light, but it was of energy, like infrastructure, it just going down my back. And I didn't feel any different, but I did feel more grounded. So we have to focus on grounding, getting ourselves deeply connected to the earth, because as we go through this stuff, there are going to be problems ahead just from hitting the different seasons when we start squaring this energy that might knock people completely sideways, okay? The most important thing is that we keep grounding our energies. So oh goodness. I want to steadily and consistently ground my energies deep into the earth and through me with ease. I want to easily release unnecessary resistance to being fully present. I want to receive the earth energy return back up through my feet and up through my core and heart and through the top of my head, where I'm perfectly balanced. As above, so below I am. Okay? So I want to steadily and consistently ground my energies deep into the earth through me with ease. I want to easily release unnecessary resistance to being fully present and grounded. I want to receive the energy, then return back up through my feet and up through my core and through my heart and the top of my head, where I am perfectly balanced. As above, so below. I am here between heaven and earth, fully present. Okay. Hi, you guys. Okay, I need my pretty mitt. So that is something we just always want to be aiming for, okay? Tomorrow is really going to kind of knock our socks off and maybe kind of short circuit some of those ways that we ground ourselves. Don't worry, you can just have at it again. But if things go sideways tomorrow and after this quarter moon, please just get out of your way, okay? If you try to force something to happen, something's gonna give, and it might be something you don't want, and it's gonna come out of the blue and you won't see it. That's the potential we are heading towards, okay? Now, okay, so because 45 really devastated us, really made the feminine women, even the feminine within our guys. So guys, I know I'm talking a lot about the divine feminine. She's finally going to be able to rise up, but she's also looking for the divine masculine, okay? So there is masculine and feminine in all of us. Guys, you want to see women connected deeply with the divine feminine, and those women are going to recognize you. You're like going to be the hot thing coming into our Pluto return. So guys, we also need you as well. I don't want you to get the feeling that we're excluding the guys or we're looking down at the divine masculine. We are not. It's just the crap that needs to be cleaned up so that we can get balanced again. And I think this is going to be easy because Mars and Venus are traveling so harmonious. They are just falling in love. Falling in love. I love it. So, what does this say? Okay. I want to see the divine feminine. The feminine comfortably express in all things that I want to recognize this spark, the sparkle of her presence, and to be in a space of appreciation and unification with the feminine. As such, I want the feminine energies within me to be set free again, to be awakened without fear. I mean, feminine energy really got chased away. So, male or female, I want that sensuous side of me to be experienced. And what I mean by sensuous, I mean the senses. A deep sense of my apparatus buzzing here. Ooh, I want all of the smell sense restored from COVID damage. Hello? Talk about an injury to the divine feminine. The sense of smell that's the center of your face. That's the center of your brain. And then to get an injury like that, I want the divine sense of smell to return for all. And long/COVID symptoms totally healed as divine masculine and feminine merge for the whole. Okay? So, I want, where am I? Purple. I want to see the divine feminine, the feminine comfortably express in all things. I want to recognize this sparkle of her presence and to be in a space of appreciation and unification with the feminine. As such, I want the feminine energies within me to be set free again. unleashed, to be awakened without fear of expression. I want that sensuous side of me to be experienced. The senses. A deep sense of my apparatus, my body, just buzzing and alive here. I want all of the smell sense to be restored from COVID damage. I want the divine sense of smell to return for all, and that long COVID/COVID symptoms to totally be healed as the divine masculine and feminine merge for the whole. Made complete and whole. Oh, love that. How are you guys doing? Oh no, Snow Wolf is injured. I know there's so much coming out with COVID symptoms and medical threads. We're finding more and more out about that CERES. Okay, how are you guys doing? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, very good. Happy Monday. Okay. So the next one, this one's big because I'm just really, and we don't address this and we need to address it. Am I shedding again? Just the pain and the agony and the trauma of the last 5-6 years. Lots of anger, lots of agony. That thing we've never been able to fully come to grips with everything we've been through because it was just another chaos thing, another thing. We had to get on autopilot during such chaotic times just to survive. And now we need to come to terms with all of that damage, but we're going to transform that damage because we want to leave that damage in our 1776 USA experience as we transition to our Pluto return. Okay? So this is, I was really, let me see if I can bring this up again because I know here. So, here we go. I'm going to put my pretty candle here. I just want this all to be pretty for our divine feminine and our Pluto return. So, I want, oh, wow, I just got a really high pitch. What's that about? Are you good? They're listening. They're listening. You're listening. This is, I want help and guidance to safely recognize my trauma, my pain, agony, and anger over what happened. The past 6 years plus. I'm so angry about what happened. And I feel like we've never been able to fully express how outrageous and egregious every damn day was. I want to safely make friends with all of my emotions. And let myself be heard. Let myself take a deep breath and to easily metabolize those things I must address, and to completely release. Oh, you guys feel that coming off? Coming off the aura? And completely release all of the garbage in my aura. Oh my gosh. I feel like I got like goosebumps on my brain. On the gray, literally inside my brain. Release all of the garbage in my aura, my body. Okay. This is why Divine Feminine kept saying, purge and get rid of stuff. We are so damaged from what's happened. We have to get all that energy out. Even if it is throwing stuff out. We don't. And that's why I'm going to go get a lot of my hair chopped up, because I'm like, this is old COVID hair, lockdown hair. My hair has gotten really long. I'm planning to get like 6 to 8 inches cut off. I don't need that. I like staying warm in the winter, but it's time to chop it off. That is trauma. That hair has been traumatized. I don't even want that. So release all the garbage and those cross currents in my body, in my home. I want to clean it up and send it on its way with blessings from all that is. Hathor, we really need help cleaning this part up. So I want help and guidance to safely recognize my trauma, my pain, the agony, the anger over what happened the past 6+ years. I'm so angry about what happened, and I feel like I've never been able to fully express how outrageous and egregious every damn day was. It was stunning. I mean, it was like a big blind spot we got broadsided by, and we still are, but we're doing better. I want to safely make friends with all of my emotions. You're not going to cut yourself off from your emotions, okay? That's part of you. We need to make ourselves whole. And let myself be heard, let myself take a deep breath, and to easily metabolize just those things I really need to address. Get my footing and my bearings as I go forward, grounded, and to completely release all of the garbage in my aura, my body, my home. I want to clean it up and send it on its way with blessings for them, but even more so for me and my new world, because we worked so hard to be here and make it through this horrible journey. We had no idea we were going to get hit with, and nobody was prepared. It's amazing we're doing this well. We are going to become whole, you guys. And the more that we heal, we send out a beacon for others, for everyone to heal. Let me check in with you guys. How you doing? Okay. Okay. Da. Chuck Todd. Ugh. Just forget him. Hello, Michael Court. Michael Court. Michael Grant. Hello, Queen and Court. Oh, Bonnie, you helped us survive it. Yeah. I am so glad we were all here for one another. There's just... It'll be nice to watch this stuff in the future. Because we've cataloged this. It's been crazy. Okay. I want to remember who I really am and to be touched and blessed by the divine feminine regularly. I want to experience deeply that divine feminine and how she adores and is so responsive to the divine masculine. I want to experience this dance between feminine and masculine in my day-to-day experience, and remember that these two parts are supposed to honor each other for the whole. I want to release those parts of me where the feminine was cut off for whatever reason, fear, but truly our energies at the core of us, you guys, our core feminine and masculine energies were devastated. The very worst of the masculine coming forth through, and the divine feminine in a space where she can't respond to that. She has to preserve herself. It really created a split. And when you have a split like that at your core, masculine, feminine, that filters down into bodily functions. Just even think your left hemisphere of your brain and your right hemisphere of the brain. Those things got split apart just because subconsciously we were learning, we were experiencing the war between the feminine and the masculine, and it's still going on. And this is why we need to keep honoring. I know we're talking a lot about the divine feminine. She's here. She needs the divine masculine too. They can't work one without the other. So release those parts of me where the feminine was switched off and the masculine under sustained attack. Wherever those gaps are within me, my male, female self, I want to be healed and made whole and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready for this 2022. I want that feminine masculine within me to take the lead. I'm not putting anything on my list. Take the lead and let all fall in line in joy, happiness, and love. Okay? So I want to remember who I really am and to be touched, blessed by the divine feminine regularly. I want to experience deeply that divine feminine energies and how she adores, yes, I'm reading the black part, how she adores and is so responsive to the divine masculine. I want to experience this dance between male and female in my day-to-day activities, and to remember that these two parts are supposed to honor each other for the whole. I want to release those parts of me where the feminine got switched off in fear for whatever reason, and the masculine was under sustained attack and couldn't respond. Wherever these gaps are within me, my male-female self, I want to be healed and made whole and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready for this 2022. I want my feminine male within me to take the lead and let all fall in line in joy and happiness and love. It just feels so life-giving, and it just feels so right. And this is how it's supposed to be. They bludgeoned us with their psyops and insanity. We don't have to admire that another minute, but we do need to acknowledge how it manifested in our physical bodies and what we need to do to turn that over and begin again as quickly and efficiently as possible. Okay? Oh, I'm so glad I came live tonight. So, now, we're saying all these nice things, and there's still a war out there with information, misinformation, and powers that want to be super that are not so super. This is where we're saying to get ahead of the curve, okay? And to remain at the ahead of the curve, because we've got a lot of people who are going to recognize it and just naturally come along, okay? How are you guys doing? Okay, okay, let's heal within ourselves, okay? Okay, here we go. So, the next thing, I want to release habits of knee-jerk reactions. We've all been conditioned in certain ways that aren't who we truly are during this mess. It's still stressful. So I want to release those habits, those knee-jerk reactions that aren't who I truly am. I'm human. We're all human. Able to give one another benefit of the doubt. First, okay? This is like we are such a work in progress. Okay. I want to defeat COVID. I want to defeat depression. USA World. I want to defeat, release the deepest COVID related pains and freaking MAGA pain. Just want to set them all on fire. I'm just going to say we're going to make a reservation. I am making a future reservation for peace and understanding with all that happened and to send love to it anyway. Okay? So, I want to defeat COVID. I want to defeat the depression here, USA. I want to defeat and release the deepest COVID-related pains and gross MAGA pain. Oh, wait. Did I start in black or orange? I am making... Okay, I think I should start in orange. I want to release habits of knee-jerk reactions that aren't who I truly am. I am human. We're all human and able to give one another the benefit of the doubt. First, I want to defeat COVID, defeat depression. I want to defeat and release the deepest, darkest COVID-related pains and trauma and the MAGA pain. And I'm making a future reservation for peace and understanding with all that happened and to send love to it anyway. We're just going to make a reservation with that. And someday we will arrive there, right? Okay, I'm sorry, Amanda. This is more like a group activity we're doing. We're not doing the tarot reading right now. I do hope to do open mic soon where I'll just take your questions. But we need to get through this month. We need to get to our Pluto return. Okay? Okay. Okay. How are we doing? Okay. Okay, so, you know what? I am liking the Saturn transit. And I was just thinking about that today because I think Saturn is like 16 Aquarius. USA Moon is at 27 Aquarius. Sometimes when you have Saturn bearing down on you, it can be stifling. It can be exhausting. It can be trying. It can feel like you really are having the pins put to you. You feel like you're where the rubber meets the road. You have no options. But what I'm feeling with this, and I have to check the chart, I feel like Saturn, we've been through enough. I feel like Saturn is like creating this barrier that's protecting we the people. So we can like get our bearings straight and kind of figure stuff out and kind of be shielded from all that garbage that used to happen. I am liking this. let's see. Oh. Okay, the rest of these I think are for our quarter moon because it goes with this other list that I made. I just wanted to make sure that I addressed the pain and the trauma of all that so that we could get a good sense of divine feminine going forward. Okay? How are you guys doing? Anything else? Anything else? Saturn is at 16. The sun is at 18. Yes. Empress, focus on opening your chakras and strengthening your third eye and crown chakra. Yeah, agreed. All great suggestions. Carol, this has been beautiful. This is good. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so we do have a quarter moon tomorrow. I think it's in the evening. I haven't checked exactly. And so we will powwow again and just keep working for there. Take it easy tomorrow, you guys. Tomorrow is an explosive day. Mind your safety. Be prepared if you go outside that you have everything that you need. I'm just thinking like a snow brush in your car, or just make sure you have your stuff with you because tomorrow it may be difficult. Okay. So thank you guys for coming out this evening. Thank you, moderators. You guys do such a fantastic job. Thank you so much for your donations. Thank you for being part of this great experiment. I love the work that we're doing. I don't know about you guys, but I can just really feel this gaining momentum. Okay? Yes, Marie Hathers, please help us. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, AJ. My gosh, my throat is so dry. And that usually means I'm hovering over something. I don't know what that is. Thank you, Susan Ritter. Thank you, Tara Love. Thank you, Holly, Carol, Connie, Sharon. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mary Hall. Thank you, Rob D. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye.